what's up, everybody? Podcast time?
Time.
Hey, listen, we just celebrated our anniversary service, and so one of the things we did in the anniversary service was we put together a video where Carter Ann sung, I believe you are who you say you are, and it kind of started at the beginning of ministry, and kind of honestly went all the way through like very recent videos and things of that nature. Starting out, there were not many videos.
Yeah, finding videos early on was tough.
If they were videos, they weren't good.
Yeah, they were horrible.
Some of them, how many? 3 or 4 pictures that were actually AI that you made move.
No.
You don't want to tell
True
your behind the
story.
scenes secrets.
Yeah.
There were 3.
So here goes.
There was no videos back then, so it was just like...
Here goes
There
what
was. Remember that white...
flip thing. That's what I used to call it. Flip. Well, I thought it was.
What was it called? Was it called a flip
I thought it was
camera?
called a flip camera,
Yeah.
but I could be wrong.
Couldn't find those.
Yeah. So anyways, I thought what would be cool is just to play the video and just to hit pause, because obviously we've all been from the start, right near the start.
I like
Yeah,
it.
not
I
you.
like it. No, I like it.
Play the video and just kind of talk through some of the things that stood out, because there were a lot of people that were watching. They were like, "Oh, I wonder what that was about. I wonder why everybody was crying right there." So, and so I just thought let's play the video, let's talk, let's have some conversation, and see where memory lane takes us to. So,
Okay.
obviously, it starts with a picture of
A black screen.
the.
This was at night.
It starts with a picture of what is called a man, I already from the start did something wrong. Starts with a picture of the manufactured home. This is, we've
That's exactly
called it
what
double
that
wide
is.
trailer at times, but this is
manufactured home.
manufactured home. You see the window units in the which was an office, small little office, and then our kids' facility there. And so right where the door is, the left window, that side of it was the sanctuary from the door and the window on the left. That side of it was the sanctuary, and the back half was 2 Kids Point classrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a little office area.
And that ramp went up to our foyer outside there.
Yeah.
Yeah, our foyer
the
was
ramp
outside.
Was the foyer, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So graffiti back wall that we used to put up and down because we shared a building with somebody. This is Tiana, one of her early. This is us in Columbia. This is Scott preaching, with translation, obviously, and it was a really cool because this church took our logo and made it their logo. Yeah. So it was one of those really cool first moment type
small cinder block building that was just
super hot. It was 1,000 degrees, and
Never been there.
Yeah, it was cool.
That was the whole building.
Yeah, that was the building.
I remember this.
Yep.
I remember this building.
One of the old ones. That one got me. Caleb's first time probably sharing scripture on stage.
Can we...
This was one of those AI.
This was AI.
This is one of those AI pictures.
That was AI.
That Tony made move.
It was a picture that really happened.
Yeah.
That.
I just
Hold on. Oh, can you go back? You go too fast.
And it's skipping. It's
Why?
It's buffering for some reason. Go back to the AI picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope.
Maybe.
Nope.
Yeah, it's right after this.
Does that say the Ultimate Warrior?
So cool.
I remember that.
Well,
We got in trouble.
Cool story about Ultimate Warrior.
He's dead.
He is gone.
Rest
now.
in peace, bro.
You're
a good wrestler.
We did a series called Ultimate Warrior where
got
we used. So for those of you that don't know Ultimate Warrior, he was a wrestler back whenever I was young, and he used to have like face paint where
His
like
war
this,
mask.
Yeah, his little war mask, and so the series was Ultimate Warrior. It was talking about Jesus, but we used as the graphic for Ultimate Warrior, we used this face mask thing almost to kind of play off of, a cultural reference.
Do you remember that?
And so we got a cease and desist order from the Ultimate Warrior.
How cool was that? Did we
Yeah,
save
that's
that?
That's the funniest
Did we
thing
save
is
the
like
letter?
I'm sure most people get cease and desist orders and they're like, "Oh man, I got a cease and desist." He called me like giddy.
Yeah,
He was
like, how cool is this?
he's like, "You'll never guess what we just
You'll
got."
never guess. Bro, we got to change. We were so broke we couldn't afford to change our whole backstage, but
Yeah.
we were going to change everything because the Ultimate Warrior just sent us a letter.
But do we have that letter?
I know we kept
Somewhere.
it. It is somewhere.
We need to frame that.
Yeah.
It's in
That
my-
needs to
I think
go
it's
up.
in my files.
We're gonna find it.
So this was, we used to go all out for stage design, and this is one where we actually went to like a Kinko's or something like that and printed off his arms, the arms of Jesus on both sides. So you see, this is like a
was all out.
nail pierced arm.
We
I
thought that was
remember
so
these
cool.
And then
stands.
we actually cut these letters out and put Ultimate Warrior back here from cutout letters. And these were made out of PVC
Yes.
pipe that we
Yes.
spray painted
Hours
silver.
and hours and that.
Yep.
To get the stage to look like that. Super cool. Super cool.
Oh, I remember
There you
that.
go.
Look at that.
Roller
That was so much
coaster
fun.
ride. There's my son, Anna Clark. Saw Kent and Parson and Cammie in there, all our kids. We used to baptize in the river. And then we transitioned from that into...
All right, can you pause it right there?
Sure.
I would like to.
You may go back?
I would like
Yeah,
to
if you
take
don't mind.
the
Okay.
Pausing.
You're gonna take the
I would like to take over the pausing.
The dancing.
The roller coaster ride?
No, not that one.
sorry.
That
Kids
one.
dancing.
Look at Kimberly.
There's
She's
me.
There's
Yeah.
Kimberly
Kimberly
with
was
her
a
top
cat
hat
in a
on.
hat.
I
Yeah.
And Mike
was.
Reeves walking around
Yeah.
to the front, telling everybody what to do, directing traffic.
So-
Mike and Krista were a huge part of what we
if
do.
you remember, we got this big giant roller coaster from
The
Her
Baptist church.
Her Baptist church, yeah.
from Baptist Church.
Yeah.
Thank you, Baptist Church.
Yes.
Really cool design.
So again, baptized in the river. We used to go down there to Mr. Howard's place.
So right here, like when the first time through watching this, I was like, oh yeah, little kids. But then I started
Those are our
looking
kids.
at who these little kids
Yeah.
are, like
Gabe.
Gabe Cagle,
Cammie,
yep,
Anna
Cammie,
Clark,
Katie.
Katie Basher. Yeah.
Carson.
Yeah, I mean, just they're so little, and I mean, just it's amazing.
Look at the school, the cool stage design back there.
Stage design was
Yeah.
Oh, those were the lights.
One-
yeah,
yeah,
Remember
they
it would
were-
get messed up sometimes.
They were 1x4s boxes.
Yep.
They were fluorescent light covers over the 1x4 boxes and LED lights on the inside of them.
Yeah, and when he says fluorescent light covers, like he doesn't mean like they're fluorescent lights, like literally the kind you look above your head and see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like
yeah.
like
Can
yeah,
you
it
guys
was.
pan up there?
No. One of Simeon's, I think this was his first video we could find of
Yeah.
him leading worship here.
Yeah.
Angela, obviously, she was 13 or 14 at this
Yeah.
time.
Christine.
Young.
In reality,
Christine, is that Davina? Maybe.
Davina.
I think that
yeah.
is.
This is another AI video.
That was AI.
Okay,
No.
This-
Yeah, because this is not Simeon.
that is Simeon.
that is Simeon.
Yeah, no, but it's not Simeon. It doesn't look like
Oh,
Simeon.
there's a flat top there.
Samantha, and again, all these people. You see a Josh
Jody.
Malinsky here, and this is a real picture
Yeah.
that Tony just made move. So, this was probably like a sacred Sunday. So we get into more of some stories here.
Abigail.
This is Josh and Rachel Epps' daughter Abigail. Special story for me. Rachel brought her sacred season check into the office one day, and she said, "Hey, can y'all pray over me before I leave?" And that day, I prayed. We didn't know them really well.
No.
I mean, she
She
was
was helping in the office.
helping, but we didn't
Yeah.
know their story very
Yeah.
well. And
Yeah,
so,
we didn't know their story. Mm-mm.
so I was praying. We were praying. Everybody kind of took their turn. There was only 4 of us on staff. We were praying, and I said, "Rachel, I don't know what this means." I said, "But I just see you holding a baby this year." And she started crying and ran out of the office. And I was like, "Okay, man, I missed that one. That was terrible." So later that afternoon, Josh, her husband, called me and he said, "Hey, heard what happened with Rachel." And I was like, "Man, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened." And he's like, "Well, you know our story?" I was like, "I have no clue." And he said, "Well, we've been to every," and they do well. And he said, "We've been to every fertility doctor that we can. We've tried everything, even with IVF or whatever. There's a 0.000 chance that she ever has a baby." And bro, I was so no faith whatsoever. And I was like, "Bro, I'm sorry. I must have missed it. I'm sorry. I can't believe I said that. I felt so stupid. I was like, God, why did I say that? You know, you start doubting everything. That year, on December 30th, he looked at her and he said, why don't we go buy a pregnancy test and see if the man of God was right? And on December 30th of that year, she found out she was pregnant. They called me December 31st, and he said, you're never going to believe this. She's holding a baby inside of her right now. And so
I just got chills.
like that.
Me too.
and
me
so
too.
so
Sweet girl.
special
So
moment where the
sweet.
next sacred season, you know, she's now, you know, they found out in December, so she was probably born in, you know, maybe she's probably 3 or 4 months old right here.
Yeah.
And so the next sacred season we got to celebrate her. Sweet girl. Bryson and Anna Grizzled. This is the first time that I remember of turn around and we're just going to throw money in your hands. And they turned around here and we all just came and filled their hands full of money. That's wild. We've done that a few times since then, but first time I can remember doing that.
And not preparing to do that.
Not preparing. No, that was not
How's
something.
that?
Okay, so this is Debbie Dykes. Debbie was a church planter. She came and preached for us and said, she's the one that said, turn the key.
Yep.
You remember
Right.
that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it means. I said, Lord, they're fasting. Lord, they're praying. What is it that you want me to say to them? He said, just turn the key. And we had no clue what the Lord was meaning whenever he said that.
Yeah.
That check, do you remember how much that check was for?
Yeah.
I think
How
so.
much?
$10,000.
$10,000. It was the largest gift that we had ever been given as a church up to that point.
Right. And she was
And
starting a church.
She was starting a church,
Mhm.
and
Or planting.
the Lord kind of stirred in me to do that. And so that night as she was preaching, I said, text Tony and I said, hey, will you go write her a check for $10,000 or the church a check for $10,000? So she was blown away. Super cool moment. For
That
us.
was cool.
I'm going to say a sacred season moment where
I
kids
think
were on
so.
stage, our youth.
But look at my sweet boys up there in the front and
I don't
praying.
think that was a sacred season.
You don't think so?
No, because people are in short sleeves.
It's South Carolina though.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I
And shorts. Oh, you boys have boys having shorts on the stage.
But
Yeah.
that was
I don't
not
know
planned. I
more.
think it was, hey, all
I
the
know.
kids come
Yeah.
up on stage. I'm not sure exactly. I remember the moment, but I can't remember why we brought them up on stage to pray with them and for them. Which
Was
is
that
really cool to see Carson right
Yeah.
here, who's now leading youth, was...
Was that when Kyle and Monica were leaving? Maybe?
Jonah was here in the middle, so Jonah wouldn't have been here for Kyle and Monica. So
Maybe something with Phil.
maybe, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Whenever he went on his mission.
Maybe, no, because
that
he was here whenever he
here.
went on his mission trip.
Mm.
I can't remember. But cool moment.
Yeah.
Our teens rallying around to pray. That's when we paid off $36.90. Our debt was paid, and we
It's so
burnt the note.
My dance.
Not the
right there,
actual
that
note,
was
'cause we
awful.
needed to keep it. This is when we announced the new building.
This was AI, right? That was AI
That
because
was
it was
not
so
AI.
grainy.
That was
Yeah, it doesn't make it great.
Facebook
I was just going with
was
it.
the only place that we could find that video,
Yeah.
So weird.
and Facebook compresses it or something.
Yes. Yeah.
'Cause wasn't it a drone?
Facebook compresses stuff bad, so
Was it a drone?
no, because you can't fly drones here because
yeah,
of the
Inside?
no. It's
I think
the
Phil
same place.
ran or kind of
He
walked
did.
in with this thing and kind of ran through it.
Yeah, because we're right next to the airport, we can't fly drones unless they have no GPS.
Even inside?
Even inside.
It's still the same location. Yeah.
So yeah, that was not AI. That was just Facebook compressed video.
That was our first service here.
This was it was our first service here,
And
right?
we closed the curtains because we thought, oh, that stage is going to be way too big.
Yeah, because there's the
Poinsettias.
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 And then we thought, oh no, it's way too cramped. The next service. Opened
Your
it back
boy
up.
back there playing guitar. You see him?
Yes.
Little Sam. Poor little Sam. Look at him. Y'all make sure y'all, when y'all see him, call him Little Sam. Little Sam Cable. No muscles there. He been working out since then, though. Service on generational synergy.
Mhm.
washing Uncle James's feet, and then I turn around and wash Caleb. You see his nasty feet right there.
You know them things stunk.
I tell you, one thing that I really
can
loved
remember
about
the
this
smell.
service was feet washing in today's church. Oh, it kind of has a stigma, like, I don't want to do that, you know. But seeing you do it on the stage, I think broke a lot of that stigma with people. Like, okay, that's cool. That is humbling. That is something that we can get behind.
Yeah, it was. I'm a huge fan of foot washing in special moments where it's like, yeah, that meant something to me. You remember this moment?
I remember that moment.
What giant's head were you cutting off?
My health
Your
battle. That, as you can see, that I'm 40 pounds heavier there than I am here. So yes, I actually had somebody walk up to me and say, "What was that head that you were carrying?"
You had one person come up. There's a lot of people asking it to
wondering what it was. This was a sermon. I told him, if you did not see this sermon, go back and watch this sermon. It was a really good sermon talking about that we defeat things in our lives and we just kind of walk away and not actually cutting the head off of it because we're not going back there. And literally, as I saw this video, it reminded me of all of that. And that's whenever Pastor said, "You're going to cry, you're going to cry." This is whenever I started crying because now even right now, things are starting to come up, and I was like, no, I'm not going back there. I've already cut the head off of that, and I'm not doing that again. So it was a great reminder for me of, yes, I'm not going back there.
That was such a cool service.
It was such a good service.
The giant is dead.
Yes.
We've got his head.
That's scary whenever you go through the airport with that in your book bag.
We did. We did.
We did do that.
I told Mark Linhart, whenever I preached, whenever I was writing the sermon, I told some of the guys on staff, I said, I'm just telling you, I'm writing this for more than our church. I don't know where else I'm preaching this. I have no other area. I'm just telling you, I'm writing this for more than just our staff. And so, a few months later, Mark Linhart asked me to come preach for him for something. And we were going through the airport in Louisiana.
Meeting.
Yeah. And I said, and it was like in that moment, the Lord dropped it in my spirit that this was the moment. And so,
prayer conference.
So we go through customs with a fake head inside of your security with a fake head inside of your thing. They held my my baggage a little extra.
Yeah, I would have too.
Yeah, seeing moments like this, like, no doubt there are questions in people's minds, but it makes me sad that people miss these moments, and they see it here, but I just wish everybody could have, understood the gravity of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched some of it as we were trying to find the clip to pull from this service. I didn't call many people on stage. I actually passed it around the altar as people were standing in the altar. Hold this and sing this. Hold this up and sing it. And so you just see some of those moments and some of those people that got to participate, and you're just like, yeah, Lord. Yeah, you that day was a line in the sand type moment.
I got chills again.
So yeah, she had a fake head in her hand. Obviously, Eli, he crushed this prayer. So sweet. This is one of those moments that people probably wouldn't understand unless they were here or they'd seen the video. This was the Lexi moment. And so I'll tell the story really quickly. I tried to generically prophesy over Lexi and just say, hey, I don't even remember how I phrased it. What you've been praying about will come to pass. And turned away, and you can see it in the video if you watch the service where the Lord just whoops me. And he says, tell her what I said. And so I turned back around, just weeping, just broken. And I said, Lexi, I'm so sorry. Tried to move on. I told the Lord I'd tell you after church. He told me, tell you what I said to you.
And so when you say you tried to generically prophesy over her, you mean that God had laid something on your heart to say to her?
I knew what I was supposed to say. Tell her that child she's asked for, I'm healing her body and she's going to have a baby. And I said, I'm not telling her that. So, Lexi, that thing you've prayed for, it's going to come to pass.
Yeah.
And I turned around, and it was like grief grabbed my heart.
Yeah.
And I wept. And it was like, whenever you maybe you were a child and you disappointed your parents, and your
Mhm.
parents were like, I'm so disappointed in you. It felt that moment with the Lord where I'm so sorry. I feel like you didn't have to say nothing. I felt like I disappointed you. I am
Yeah.
so sorry. Soon as I can get this song stopped, I will go right back to her and say what you told me to say.
Yeah.
And so I turned around and said to her, I don't even have a clue why you can't have a baby. I have no clue. I don't know what the diagnosis is. I just know you've always wanted, and you've been told you can't have. But the Lord is healing you even in this moment. And
She was pregnant
And-
like
And now she
6
got a baby.
weeks later, and now she's sitting at home
Listen,
right now holding
people
her
are going to
baby.
watch this video who can't have a baby, and we're going to have a lot of people come to church tomorrow next Sunday.
yeah, I mean, it's wild.
It's amazing how many times God has fulfilled that very thing.
We talked about the which we'll see a clip of it here in a minute, but yeah, it was a special moment. It was a special one for me. You remember what was happening here?
Yeah. I tried to get out of it right before service started. It was Sacred Sunday.
Yeah.
And he said, hey,
For weeks in advance.
prepare yourself if you don't want to, get called out because you may have to pray. And I thought, that man knows better than to call me out because I ain't doing it.
I kept telling the staff, if you don't want me to call you and say, hey, come pray for certain things, please tell me in advance, because if I get there, I'm assuming you're good with it. And she never once would come to
I
me.
didn't say no because he knew better. You know what I mean? It's like, you're my husband. You know that ain't going to fly with me.
He did not
And-
know better.
He did not know better.
And
He
not only a
called
9
me
o'clock, but an
out.
11 o'clock service too.
And I knew it. And I told the Lord, listen, I knew what she was supposed to do. And I told the Lord this is why I kept asking for weeks in advance.
Well, you should have said Maddie.
No. I kept saying, Lord, she's going to have to say no. I'm giving her opportunity. She's going to have to say no. And she never did. So I
Well,
said,
everything you ask me now is nope, nope, not doing it.
Do you regret doing it?
No.
oh,
course
it was a beautiful
That's right.
moment.
Rise to the challenge.
Watching these ladies flood the stage was so beautiful.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful.
And then you're like, just pray a little prayer, and then I couldn't.
She
Like,
prayed
it
over
took
every one of them.
over. Yeah.
It was
And then you
beautiful.
cut me off at one point, and I was like, I wasn't done.
So that was a cool moment. Campus pastors installing them and placing a mantle on their life. This is Coach Hilton. Incredible battle that he fought with cancer. Our church responded on an Easter Sunday, and it was really cool. Cool for the whole community. Cool for our church.
Yeah.
But just to be there for him in this season. I think that service, we took up over $30,000 for him in that
Right.
service, where community just poured out support for him. It was a cool moment. So, yeah.
Oh,
Here
we go.
This is us singing Your Goodness. You pinching yourselves. This is us singing Your Goodness is running after. It's running after JD3.
Oh, that sweet baby.
So this is Johnny and Christy, and
Another person that wasn't supposed to have a baby.
right. This is Johnny and Christy and their baby. I remember, again, the Lord has used me in this area quite a few times, but I remember the night where it was a Monday night prayer, and I said they both wanted to get baptized.
Mhm.
And so I said to them in that moment, I said, go ahead and start preparing the nursery. Go ahead and start painting the nursery. Go ahead and buy the baby clothes. Go ahead and prepare, because the child you've wanted is on the way. And it wasn't immediate, but it was right around immediate. And they had this baby who was born with SMA.
Mhm.
Had to go into a bubble. Not a literal bubble.
Basically.
Yeah. Like, couldn't touch anybody, couldn't talk to anybody, couldn't get within, like, you couldn't invade their space at all. They had to
Even
keep,
Johnny and Christy.
yeah, you couldn't even have like hug them. They had to protect him for this super rare
Live virus to
Gen-
be infused into his system, because if anything was in his system that wasn't that virus would have attacked it instead of what it was made to attack, which was the gene, so
Yeah.
it wouldn't progress. It like stops it where it's at, or it was supposed to stop it where it's at.
So
and it did.
realistically, his initial diagnosis was bad.
Type 1,
Mhm.
which was the worst it could be.
Like
right? Wasn't it type 1?
you're not going to be able to walk. You're not going.
You can't eat on your own.
Realistically,
Really breathe
eating,
on your
breathing,
own.
yeah.
Life expectancy was like less than
3
Mhm.
years, right?
Yeah.
2, 3
2 years.
years.
I was thinking
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
I was
And I
thinking
remember
too.
that night. Again, we don't have a video of it, but the night they found out, and all of us staff went over to their house and just prayed over them and prayed for that baby. And it was
We do have a picture.
it is a special. That is a special boy to all of us for a lot of reasons.
So this fellow is somebody who shouldn't even
Should
be
never
able
be
to walk.
walking.
Yeah,
Should
should
never
be in either a wheelchair or some kind of assistive device.
Yeah, should never be walking. And so this is a year later.
Look at that.
That sweet
Baby.
boy.
That's the best right there. Stop it. He's like, hey, look at me.
Listen, the funniest part for me is like
Look
I
at him
think
looking at
this right
himself.
here got the biggest crowd reaction
Yeah.
of almost anything.
Because they were all involved in it.
I know. It's just like it. This moment impacted our church
Yeah.
Oh,
in a
for
huge,
sure.
huge way.
Yeah.
You could tell.
You
He's
keep
so
talking,
cool.
you're gonna cry too.
He almost
Fine.
did.
I saw you just turn to it and like,
Oof.
okay, let's move on.
Keep it
It
rolling.
did.
Goes off the stage, right?
You know what's
Oh.
funny? How Johnny and Christy probably. I mean, looking back now, you're thankful for the moment, but in the moment, you're dreading and you're saying, God, why? And I wish I would have never, have to go through this. And now you look back and you're like, wow, God, at all that you've brought good from this moment.
Yeah.
It's
And
really
not
amazing.
only for our church, but for the community. They've been
Absolutely.
written to about doing their story
Mhm.
and
Well, even MUSC, he was he was patient 0.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
first one ever to get this treatment there.
She says when he goes there, he's
He's
like
a
a superstar,
celebrity,
celebrity.
yeah.
Yeah, everybody comes
Okay.
running. John David's here. So
Oh, there he goes.
he's on about walk off. So obviously, this is a flip through history of all. I say all the baptisms. This is
here, right?
the year and just incredible. This is a service where we brought maybe the first year we were here, we brought everybody that had been baptized up on stage. So that was just a cool moment. Young boy battled alcohol. Gates of hell won't prevail. Some pastors that were, saying your church is still alive and well here for a conference. This is kids that we had this moment of, if you feel called into ministry, and all these kids rushing to stage that feel a call in the ministry on their life. So we're just throwing some filler stuff here where obviously everything can't make sense with the song. So one day soon you'll split the sky. This is one of our worship nights, just out there declaring it before the Lord. Miss Trina, Candace, Justina. Never hear this song the same here as Sophia was dancing on stage with such joy. All of them were dancing with joy, but it was like Sophia just had this moment with the Lord while leading in worship. That was from Easter Sunday. Cool moment.
You
You'll
were
be down there
dancing with
dancing
them.
with her.
Oh, this is good.
Another one
Super
of my
cool
favorite
moment.
services.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
super cool.
Yes.
There was corn found for, I feel like a whole year after.
Oh
we
yeah,
had
it
corn.
was for sure.
I think we still
I
find
think some
corn.
popped.
I think this is another
the
sermon
lights.
you need to go back and watch.
I agree.
Yes.
But it doesn't have quite the effect.
And I don't know that it's... I guess it's got to be great quality if we pulled this clip from it.
Yeah.
But the concept of the sermon was he provides seed to the sower, multiplies it as it's sown. So I had Johnny walking around with buckets, with a bag of corn, and as he would throw corn, I would throw corn to multiply the seed being sown.
Yeah.
And so, and then ultimately got to the place to where I talked about he will open up the windows of heaven and pour out blessings. And we had 800 pounds of corn in the ceiling?
No, 1,000.
1,000 pounds of corn.
You lifted us girls up first to see if
And
it would hold us.
we did.
We were a little scared for a second.
We had
So explain the how you figured out how to drop 800 pounds of corn because listen, here goes the great thing about Tony and I. I go, Tony, I want to drop 1,000 pounds of corn from the ceiling, and you go,
Okay.
super cool. Let's figure it out.
Yeah, this was definitely a let's figure it out moment. We had never done anything like it before. We had done something similar with a dance studio where they had balloons that they wanted to drop, and so
They're light though.
yeah. This was I was nervous leading up to it because this was a one-shot deal.
One shot.
And so we couldn't practice to see if it would work. We went into the service just hoping. So
Was this when we were only doing one service?
One service, yeah.
Oh, okay.
One
so we had our pulley system, our battens. So if you know anything at all, curtains. It's a counterweight system.
You've made us all feel stupid if you know anything at all.
No, I'm just saying,
I
like
know a lot of stuff,
you
but I don't
know,
know what
you
that
know,
is.
in theaters there's curtains, right?
Okay,
And
curtains in
and they go
theater.
up and down,
Okay.
or left and right. But this is the up and down part, and there's a counterweight system. So up at the top, a bar, and it goes up a pulley, and then down. And on the other side, there's counterweights.
Actual weights.
Yeah, we
Like,
put
where you would
big-
put in a thing and it would.
big weights
Weights.
that would equal the weight of the curtain. That way, somebody can get on the rope and just pull, and all they're pulling is just enough weight to pull the curtain because they're balanced. So the hard part, though,
Honored.
Okay.
yeah, it's a counterbalance. So
Yeah.
they should weigh about the same.
Yeah.
So the hard part is you bring two battens, two poles down.
Is that what
And
a
you-
batten is? A pole?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you bring two battens down, and we put two big old tarps, like to make a big old trough
Yeah.
in
Yes,
between
we
them.
did.
And just the
Fill it
biggest.
with ladies first.
Yes.
We put it all the way on the stage, and then we had all the office ladies come and lay down in it, and then we picked them up about 5
See
feet
how hard it would be.
just to see, okay, is this possible? And it was. Would the tarp hold it? We had
Yeah.
two different tarps, the most heavy duty tarps we could find,
Yeah.
and they could. So then we just went to Tractor Supply and bought corn and filled it up, and then we had to pick it up. But when you picked it up, you had to pick it up together, like two different battens. You got
Yep,
two
'cause it
guys.
would go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get it up to the very top, and this is where I didn't know if it was going to work or not because they're counterbalanced to 500 pounds. So when you pull on one, and so basically it pulls it down or pulls it up, and then what it does is here's the tarp like this. It pulls it up like this
Right.
and just shoves it all out. But the hard part is when you do that, the weight that was holding it down is now gone. So when we
And
started,
we couldn't practice this with the girls.
you couldn't practice.
Throw them out. We couldn't practice.
Yeah, so if you
appreciate
pull
that.
it, and as the weight starts going, it was so heavy that like if it wasn't all the way up at the ceiling, like it would have pulled my guys. Like they would have, it would have
Yeah.
lifted them off the ground.
That would have been cool.
Not cool. If they could have died. But
So basically, I said he'll open up the windows of heaven, and they did this right
Yes.
here to lift one of the poles up so
Yes.
that then all of the corn would fall
Yes.
out of the tarps.
But the question was, as it started spilling and the weight came off, once half of it got gone, would it counterbalance it enough to where, it would even back out? But it didn't. They just got on there with all their might and yanked down. And that's why you see it's not a slow trickle, which honestly I would have preferred.
Yeah.
It wasn't. And I told them, I said, I would love a slow trickle, but we got one shot at this.
One shot.
Just
Get it out.
yank it out. And they did. They yanked it.
And you were a little nervous for Johnny as well. 1,000 pounds of
1,000
corn.
pounds of
I was
corn
not
falling
nervous
on
for
him.
Johnny as well. I was super excited.
Okay.
Listen, the tarps are still up there for next time we want to do something.
It was a super
Are they
cool
really?
moment.
Yeah, they're still up there.
It was a super cool moment. It created a dust cloud.
Yeah, it
This
looked like
is
a bomb went off.
Hunter, this is more recent, a few weeks ago, where Hunter I shared his story, and we all got a chance to rejoice. He had been battling some
cancer in his spinal
spinal
cord brain thing.
yes, and so anyway, he's got
It was somewhere.
a report
Somewhere over there.
of free, clear, healed. And honestly, he told me Sunday that they just released him to go back into the Air Force. So
Wow.
he was excited about
That's
that.
incredible.
He said, man, God's been answering prayers. So.
Amen.
This is, again, just some filler stuff. This is when we sung 100 Billion Times. That song, it was a really cool moment, but you get a cool crowd shot of it. And then this was Palm Sunday, waving the white handkerchiefs, where that started. And so another cool moment. This is a cool moment of the power going off
I
and then
love
coming
this
back
moment.
home.
That
We were
was really cool.
It was so cool
And it
to
wasn't planned.
hear
No.
everybody. Nobody ever turned around. Nobody skipped a beat. Lights went out, and everybody continued on.
yeah.
It was the
And we
coolest
happened to be
moment.
singing Tremble.
Yes.
You make the darkness tremble.
It was so cool.
It was so cool.
It
Yes.
really was.
Yep.
And ironically, I think Kent's the one that was recording
Yes.
this, right? As it
yes.
happened,
Carson said, "Record this."
yeah, as it happened, she pulls out her phone and starts recording it, and so it was a super cool moment.
Yeah.
We never stop. Worship never stopped. A cool moment here where just anointing our hands, and then we anointed all of the hands of everybody. And ironically, we had just talked about, I had just talked about in prayer that there was going to come a moment where I don't know when it is during sacred season, but there's going to come a moment where I'm going to pray for everybody that's going to pray during sacred season. I said, so I need you at every service, because if you miss this moment, then you're not going to be able to pray at sacred season, because I'm not sure when that moment is, but when that moment happens, and so anyways, this was that moment where God just kind of took that, Justin anointed mine and Maddie's hands, and then we just prayed for everybody's hands, that it would be multiplied through them, in them. So, obviously Jess Putnam, huge story here in our church of who she is. Just been a beacon of light for our community. Had beat cancer, again, just reading her story, beat cancer and lived in victory for 2 years, and then all of a sudden it came back kind of with vengeance, and it was she just recently lost her battle, and so to put her here and on that day I've finished my race and I'm gonna see you face to face, was just a cool kind of tribute to her and who she was in our church. Unity, nothing's gonna separate us. It's what the body of Christ should look like, all of us in it together. This was us in the Philippines. Monday night prayer, this was another one of those. It was a picture that Tony turned into movement.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
How? We'll talk about it after the thing.
It's wild, ain't it? Holy One.
We had the perfect picture
Uh-huh.
that we needed for that moment,
Uh-huh.
and we didn't have video that fit that moment as well. So
Yeah.
But how?
I took the picture and I said, I need it to do this. And you just
Chat was like, no
describe it-
worries. Got
describe
it.
it very well. And
Got you, Tony.
You
Got
described
you,
it
dog.
yeah.
very well.
So
That was good.
let's do this, Caleb. Can you just right now just attach the whole video to this for those of you who were like, or where can I find the whole video? The whole video is right here, going to be played. I love y'all. Thank you for hanging out with us. Peace. Let's go.